Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Bra Motherfucking Topics. I'm your host, Kim, here with my co-host,
Alex Scarlato. Hi, Kimmy.
Hi.
You look like a black and white cookie today.
I was thinking that. I do look like a cookie. Look, there's a hole in these. I look like a cookie.
It's pretty cute.
Thanks.
Dude, I just, off the top of my head, remembered that when I was a kid, I didn't like chocolate, so I'd only eat like the white half of the black and white cookie. Isn't that crazy?
That's absolutely ill. What kind of child doesn't like chocolate?
I wouldn't eat a chocolate bar. I wouldn't have any chocolate cake. I only liked like vanilla things.
Francis called you racist. And I'm calling you boring.
Frank, you're racist.
You only like vanilla things.
Yeah, it was boring as fuck. And then like when I was like 12 or 13, I bit into a Three Musketeers bar just to try it. And the nougat fucking won me over. And I was like, okay, I could deal with chocolate. And now every time I have to do mic check for Bobby Hutch, I talk about how much I love chocolate.
Dude, do you remember, like, is there a specific taste in your life that you remember, like the first time you had the chocolate, you remember the nougat, the specific moment it happened? Do you have other foods like that?
If I think about it, I'm sure that I do.
I remember the first time I tried a mango.
Oh, that's so pure. What a pure food to have that feeling about.
I was like probably too old to have never tried one. I must have been 5 or 6, and I was like, I would go to my dad's house for the weekends, and I was at my dad's house, and he had a mango, and of course, because he was a man, he didn't cut me one up. He was just eating it next to me, and I was kind of staring at him, and he was like, "Do you want a bite?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I remember literally we were sitting on the river, and he gave me a bite of his mango, and it was like, this has only happened with like maybe 3 things ever, and it's mango, lobster, and this new kombucha I'm drinking. They're like 3 things that I've tasted where I'm like, this is going to change my life forever. And I remember the moment I tasted that mango and like how I was like, this is a flavor that I've been looking for that I didn't know existed, is the only way to describe it.
The mango makes perfect sense to me, but I'm like, are you about to sell me on kombucha? Because I've never tasted one that I thought was good ever.
Alex, there's this kombucha.
How do you say it? Is it kombucha?
I don't know.
Or kombucha or kombucha.
Kombucha. I don't know. I really don't know how to pronounce it.
I felt so uncomfortable with that word coming out of my mouth, probably for the first time ever. Like, I've only ever been at the store and been like, I'll try that stuff.
Right. So how many have you tried?
I've tried it a couple times because, like,
was it a hard kombucha?
What does that mean? Like, it's not supposed, like, I know that they're not supposed to have, like, they have like an alcohol content that's like pretty low, but they're not supposed to be like hard, like get you drunk.
No. Yeah, no. The ones I have are like 6.6% alcohol.
Oh, okay. That I wouldn't drink anyway because I don't drink.
But you do have drinks. It's not like you don't drink because you're sober, or like you don't drink because you don't like it.
I don't drink because I don't like being drunk.
Oh, see, this is different too. This is also a different drunk.
Maybe I would try it. I don't know, because I
think the next time we hang out, we should drink 2 kombuchas together.
Kim, you should definitely get me drunk sometime. The fact that I haven't drank in 2 years, it would be so funny to see me drunk, and I probably wouldn't do it with anybody but you because I could like get crazy and you wouldn't judge me.
When was the last time when was the last time you drank? Was I there?
I remember I had 1 glass of wine at dinner with smoked honey before Skankfest 2019. And it was like 1 glass of wine with dinner because we were having steak. And like, that's barely drinking. And that's the last time I remember drinking. Before that, it was like a couple of years ago, like Michael Che was on Legion of Skanks at the Creek, and I had like 2 or 3 drinks that night.
Wow.
Like 3 years ago. Yeah.
What made you have drinks then?
I feel like it was difficult it was like weird for me to decide that I didn't like alcohol. Like, I feel like there's actually a lot of pressure on people to drink, like young people, especially if you like don't have a problem with alcohol, and like like if you've been through like recovery or whatever, then people are like, sure, don't drink. But if you haven't, people are like, why are you being a pussy?
Right.
So like I remember in college, even when I was drinking a lot, like I realized that I didn't like it so much and just kind of continued doing it out of like habit and like not really knowing how else to have fun. And I think like at the start of working at Gas Digital, I was like, oh, maybe I'll try, try to blend in with the crew, have a drink or two, but I never liked it.
Really?
Same with like Xanax or ketamine or like any drug that gives me a feeling of like losing control a little and being like drunk. Not my thing.
Yeah. Fuck.
But I'm happy you found a delicious kombucha.
I think okay, so my thing is, I don't drink a lot either. I am not a big drinker, but I will have drinks. Like I'll have, if I do a show, I'll have a beer or whatever. I'm usually like a person, I'll have one or two. And then if I mix it up with enough weed, it's a perfect little crossfade for me. I have been drinking hard kombucha every single day for the past 2 weeks. Multiple of them. I am an alcoholic now. I've been drunk every single day. It doesn't hurt my stomach the way alcohol does. It has probiotics, so I feel like I'm being healthy when I drink it. It's like good for your gut. Bad for your liver, obviously, but good for your gut. And I feel so good when I'm drunk off them. Sarah, who also doesn't drink, I gave her one yesterday, and we did a podcast while she drank one, and then we started calling her One Kombucha Wine Shank because she was so funny off kombucha. She loved it.
Wow. I like how you guys are becoming healthy alcoholics. It's like such an LA way to become an alcoholic. Like, let's just get some kombucha and chill.
Kombucha and chill.
Damn. I've only ever tried it because of the health aspects where I'm like, oh, like instead of getting like a green tea or something, I'll try a kombucha. And when I tell you, I've only ever made it like to take like this much of a sip out of the bottle before I'm like, I don't want this. I can't.
You gotta, there's this one by this company called June Shine, and the kombucha that's good is called Midnight Painkiller. And it's like got charcoal in it. You have to flip it upside down. When you pour it into a cup, it's like a dark purple, like a very dark purple. It is so fucking good. I cannot believe it exists. It's one of the 3 things in my life, that, lobster, and mango, that I'm like, this is what I've been looking for. This is the drink that I've been looking for myself.
You know what? This is going to sound crazy, and I can't believe that I'm saying it as a reality, but when you said June Shine, it reminded me that the few times in my life that I have drank moonshine, I loved it.
Wow.
Like, it's like a different, like that's a real like different drunk where I'm like, I might be enhanced right now. I might be like better than myself.
I'm the best version of myself. You're all hammered and flashing your titties. You're like, I'm the best version of me.
It's not even hammered. It's like, I feel like moonshine gets you high.
This is what this does to me. It gives me like a different kind of buzz. Like it's so good. I mean, I couldn't be a bigger advocate. I'm going to hit up June Shine because I'm putting too many people on.
Yeah, get us a sponsor. I'll try it.
I'll drink a June Shine every damn podcast episode if that's what they want.
I'll get drunk on the goddamn pod for the first time in ever.
Oh, that would be great if we did a podcast and all we did was get every 10 minutes we had to drink another one.
I couldn't do that. When I tell you, after 3 years of not drinking, one beer would fuck me up. Like it would get me good and drunk.
Okay, well then the thing is you'd have to chug it within the first 10 minutes of the podcast.
Next time we do a podcast in person, let's do a drunk cast.
Why don't we just do the next podcast?
Like, I don't want to be drunk in my house and then having to drive to Gas Digital later.
Come on, it's even better that way. Then you could do a GoPro cam in your car. You can have a Alex drunken adventure. Think of the numbers, Alex, and what it would do for us. Stop being selfish.
Kim, when I tell you my drive home last night from Legion of Skanks was terrifying.
Why? Because of... Wait.
So when I tell you the fog the fog. We left the stand, and like the entire city was like covered in fog. Like you could see like down to the end of the block in Union Square, right? And the fog got heavier and heavier and heavier all the way until I got back into my driveway. Like my driveway in Queens was foggy.
It was very Halloween.
It was very, very festive. Yes.
Oh God. It's like a fucking Michael Myers movie.
Yeah, it was bad.
I'm glad you made it home safe.
Yeah, there was a point where I ended up at Rosa's peeing at like Rosa's.
Roses?
Roses, yes.
Oh my God. Did you say roses?
I was peeing in Rosa's bathroom, and honestly, I took a video of myself for the show today, and then I was like, you know what? No need.
Wait a minute. Maybe need. What's this video? You took of yourself peeing?
I mean, I was like talking to the camera as I was peeing.
Can you send that to Bobby, please? Why would you? Why?
The pee went on for so long that then I was getting insecure that like I was like, this pee needs to stop, because then this video is unreleasable if this pee doesn't stop soon.
What if can we just get the audio?
No, I think there was a point where I just stopped. I realized that the pee wasn't going to be over for a minute or two, and I forgot that I was recording.
Alex,
and
please
I let out like a sigh of like satisfaction of the pee. And
please let us hear it.
That video was unusable.
Please let us hear it. Please, that would be so funny.
I can't. I don't know what I said in it. It was a minute long. It was a
Why don't you just go proof listen real quick?
Listen, guys, I don't want to perjure myself here, but things were pretty foggy last night. Okay?
Francis said audio only, please. We want pee sounds. We want pee sounds.
Video. But meanwhile, I sent him a different video that he was like, I don't even know if you want to show that. And it wasn't even as bad as the pee sound video.
What was the different video?
It was me just talking to the camera when I got home.
Boring. We want the pee sounds. We want pee sounds.
I'm not giving you guys a minute of my tinkle, okay? Like I don't know who's gonna jerk off to that. Do you think somebody could jerk off to us tinkling in the toilet, just the sound?
Yeah.
Knowing that it's coming from one of us.
Yes. When I first started stand-up comedy, I was going to sell my farts in a mason jar.
Frank literally put in the chat, not me.
Yeah, I was going to sell my farts.
Into a bag or what?
A mason jar.
You were going to like...
I was going to, on video, fart into the mason jar, seal it, sign the top of it, and then sell them for $5 a pop.
I almost feel like for them to be like worth real money, you have to have a partner on hand, because to turn around and seal the jar that quickly, it seems like your fart would just escape. Like, are you sealing your asshole to the jar when you're farting?
No, I mean, I was going to figure out the logistics after my business. I opened the front doors after I did the clipping of the ribbon. Francis says it's too low, but yeah, $5 is too low. It should have been like 15 to 20 a jar.
Honestly, $5 fart jars are so cheap that it's like, I don't even want that fart. I want, if I'm buying a fart jar, I want a $100 fart.
Right. It's also a good business. Like, listen, if someone opened a business and you're like, you could buy my fart in a jar and I'll send it to someone. And they just open the jar. It's like a prank.
That, like, the people who are ordering it don't necessarily want it for themselves. Like, maybe they do, but maybe they're buying it for someone else.
Yeah, and it's just going to be like, smell this. And then they open it, and it's going to be my fart. I wonder how long a fart can stay in a jar. Bobby, will you look that up?
I think it depends how quickly you seal the lid.
So do you think if you sealed it quickly, the smell would actually stay in there?
I think it's a combination of sealing the lid quickly and getting your asshole really pressed up inside of that mason jar.
Right. I mean, I don't think it would be that hard to keep it in the jar, because like farts be staying around. It's not like when you fart, it doesn't like run.
Bobby said 7 to 10 days. Where'd you get that information from?
The fart stays good for 7 to 10 days.
That's a long time. That's longer than I thought it would. But once you open the jar once, the fart's out.
No, you just get one sniff.
You get one good long inhale from it.
7 to 10 days, depending on the temperature and nostril flow. This includes shipment time. How long does the smell last once the jar is open? It lasts as long as any fart that's released into the wild. It depends on how much air is circulating.
Right.
See, it's a good business model.
Yeah, you're never out of farts.
No.
Like,
and they're free. It's free to fart.
Yeah, it's just you got to get the timing right. Like, you feel like you have to fart, and you got to go over and get your jar. Like, that could be kind of annoying.
You have to get the camera. You have to squat in front of it. You have to keep the fart in. But, like, you could also just eat really gassy foods, and, you know, you can push out 20 jars a day if you try hard enough.
I guess so, but I wouldn't want to be doing that. Like, every now and again, I have, like, a gassy day, and I truly get insecure about it. Like, halfway through a gassy day, I'm like, there's no way that everybody doesn't realize that it's me farting now.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, I could, for the first hour or so,
you could get away with it. You're like,
get away with it, walk away, pin it on other people. But after you've been in the room together for like 6 hours and it's just you and another person, it's like, obviously I'm farting.
Yeah. It must suck to be like in a group of people and be the least attractive person, because for sure people are going to think you're the one that farted no matter what. Nobody ever thinks the hot people fart.
Wow, that's so true. Also, if you so like say you're in that situation, if somebody finds out that it was the ugly person's fart, they're more disgusted by it than if they found out that it was the hot person's
It's so
fart.
mean. Like, it's so mean.
Fart kind of smells bad. If you knew it came from the really hot person, you're like, it's not, at least it's kind of like not that bad.
Well, right, because you look at the person that you don't find attractive and you're like, I don't want to smell your insides.
No, I want to like, and then you look at the hot person, you're like, I want to be on your insides. Like,
right.
I'll smell like whatever you smell like. Yeah.
So yesterday you did the Halloween party. How'd that go?
Well, a lot happened. We also did like a trial between Lewis and Ari over the whole dosing thing. Everybody was in costume. Me and Bobby were Batman and Robin.
That's really cute.
Cool. Yeah, it was a crazy show. I almost don't know what else to say. It was a wild show. I got home. I was up for hours.
Oh, it was one of those shows, sister.
I slept until 3:00 today, and here we are.
Ari died?
I mean, yeah.
What happened?
There was a whole scene. There was like gunshots and a whole thing. Union Square. I had to cut the stream. The stand went into a frenzy. And then I drove home in the fog.
Okay. Sounds very Halloween themed.
It was
sounds like a typical night over at LOS.
You know what? No big deal.
Oh my gosh. My friend in Hollywood was just hanging out, eating at a restaurant, which is like, they're all outside now. And some dude got shot in front of him. Like, there was like a robbery, like right in front of him, and they all had to run. And the dude got shot and was like bleeding out on the ground.
That's so traumatizing.
Not wild.
Traumatizing, because I feel like you'd want to go over to the person who got shot and help them, but then like there's a gunman there who's like, don't help that guy. Like,
right.
You leave that situation feeling like you didn't do the right thing no matter what you did, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
It is fucked up. Traumatizing. There's this girl on TikTok that I've been following, and she has the darkest, saddest TikToks, because I guess she was just like this. She's like, I think 18 or 19 or something. And she lived at home with her parents and had the best relationship. I've stalked her TikTok. This is why I know everything about her. It looks like she had a great relationship with her mom and her family, and everybody was very close and nice. And then she said one day she had a doctor's appointment. Like, literally, she said one day she had a doctor's appointment. She woke up at 1 p.m. and then she had waffles. And then she went up to her mom's room to remind her that they had to go to the appointment, and her mom killed herself in the closet and was just dead. And like, it was just a girl with a regular mom, like your mom and my mom. Isn't that crazy? Yes. And literally, you know, and the girl said, she posted another TikTok because she does like dark jokes about it now. And she said that she was slaying with her friend the night before her mom killed herself, and they were talking, and she was telling her friend, like, I don't know what I would do if my mom died. And they were just talking about like natural occurrences where like a car accident or old age, and then the next day her mom committed suicide.
I have that thought so often. Literally in the middle of the night, I was heating up my mom's fresh minestrone soup that she made, and I was like, I don't know what I would do without this bitch. Like, this minestrone is delicious.
I don't know. The power of a mother is crazy. I've had a dream about my mom the last 3 nights.
What a flex, honestly, on your kid to just kill yourself as a mom. Like, that's like really, like, I'm leaving you. I'm done. I don't care. Goodbye. That is crazy.
I wish I could find her TikTok so we could watch some of her dark ones, because her life is a rough.
Yeah. I would never recover from that. Also, like, if my mom killed herself, like, I would definitely kill myself just a few years later, I think. I'm like,
I think I would too.
Right?
Yeah, you have to. It's almost rude not to.
It is rude not to. Like, she birthed you. You have to follow, and like, I don't know. Also, then it's like, you have all these thoughts of like, well, was I not good enough for mommy?
Well, yeah, that's like the fucked up part. It's like, what was going on in your head that you were like, oh, my kids will be fine when they find me on the floor in my closet? Like, kind of fucked up for real.
Right. Yeah, no, I feel like as soon as you have a kid, you're like, well, I got to stick around for them now. Like, that's like a thing.
Yeah. No, it's your responsibility to stay alive.
Yeah. I remember in elementary school, one of the girls' dads committed suicide, and they wrote a letter home to everybody about it.
That's weird.
Doesn't that sound weird? It struck me as weird. I remember a few notes home about like things going on in people's lives. Like, so one of the kids, like, their brother got a whooping cough or something like that, which I guess like super dangerous for kids. So they wrote a note home like, hey, everybody, like, so-and-so has whooping cough. Be
Understandable.
really careful.
Understandable.
But the suicide one I found shocking. I mean, we were in like the 3rd grade.
What did the note say?
It was like a typed out letter to our parents to inform our parents that one of the other parents committed suicide. And even then I was like, this seems inappropriate. Like,
yeah, like that's none of our business.
In our backpacks, like, obviously all of us opened the note before we got home. Like,
everyone's like, did you hear about Jimmy's dad?
Like, literally, we're like, yeah, that's really sad, right? Like,
oh my God, that's too much. You can't tell elementary school kids everything. It's way too much.
It was too much. I found it weird. I don't know if it's like a standard thing that they do if something like that happens. Like, if people need to be warned. I don't know. Suicide's not contagious.
They said it like it was COVID.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to have to do a nasal swab on everyone because this dude overdosed on cocaine. So I don't know what else to say. Yeah, in elementary school, the only time I remember getting a letter home like that was because this girl in our elementary school was kidnapped walking home from school. Like, a guy literally pulled her into his car and she like escaped and ran into the woods.
I remember getting one of those as well, actually.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, but they kept the student anonymous, right?
Yeah, same.
They said one of the girls or one of the students was followed home by a suspicious car and like all this stuff. And then it was very dramatic because everybody in the class wanted to know who it was. It was like a thing. And the girl, it ended up being somebody who I was like in a little close friend group with. And she like came out to the group that it was her. And she was so scared that everybody was going to like make fun of her and find out about it. It was very dramatic. Oh,
that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Wow. Just some childhood girl trauma. No big deal.
Just a little trauma for you. I always wonder how many times as a kid I was like being followed and didn't know it, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God. Who knows? One time I saw this little girl being followed when I was like old enough to be driving from like high school, and there's this little girl, she was so tiny, and she was like 5 with a backpack, and it was so big, and she was being followed by this van. She was like obviously walking to school, and the car was going so slow next to her, to the point where he'd even pull into the street, pull back out, wait a second, like let her get up ahead, and then he'd pull up. And I like watched it, and then I like literally followed that car, and it was just her dad because she wanted to walk home to school by herself, and he was just making sure she made it.
Oh, that's cute. That's nice of you to like follow and everything. Did you literally like get out of the car and end up talking to him?
Well, I was like, "Are you alone?" I rolled down the window, and she was like, "No, that's my dad." And she pointed to the car, and he was like, "I'm her dad." And I was like, "Okay."
He was probably literally, he came home that night. He's like, it's a good thing I was following her because there was this weird girl in the
This
car.
weird Puerto Rican
trying to follow her. I saved my daughter that day.
There's a weird Puerto Rican trying to traffic her.
I remember, I used to like walk around my block alone when I was like 7, and my parents would let me go like it was no problem. But whenever my grandpa was watching me, he'd get nervous. So he would pretend that he was going to let me go walk around the block alone. And then when I was like halfway down the block, he'd get in the car and just start following me really slow from behind.
That's funny.
It made me so angry. I was like, I don't need you to follow me, but it was so sweet. He just
wanted you to get there safe. And you were all angry. I could see your tiny little face being angry.
I can do it on my
own. Oh, fuck. What's new?
I don't know. I'm just looking back at the chat, and apparently sendajart.com is a thing. It's a jar fart.
No.
Yeah.
Can we pull up the website, please? Can
we see what sendajart.com is? Because can anybody send a jart? Like, it would have to be anybody could send one, right? Because otherwise,
I mean, technically anyone can send a jar right now. You just need a jar.
No, right. But my point being that, like, I don't want just anyone's fart.
Right. So I don't understand how this website works. I like seeing people's desktop. It feels very,
Bobby.
Very personal that we're just like all up in it. No, Bobby, pull it back up. I'd like to see.
I didn't get enough time to see if you have any saved pages on there.
What pages do you have saved? I remember when I used to babysit this family. I used to like sneak onto the dad's computer and check what kind of porn he watched for no reason.
That's really fun. I thought you were going to say you would babysit a family and like have your laptop over there and your porn came up in front of the kids, which would have been much worse.
No.
I can't tell you how often it's becoming a very common thing in my life. Leave this up. I'm going to finish this in a second. It's becoming very common that I show up to work and open up my laptop and have to close out like 6 porn tabs.
No.
In the office. Yeah, like I'm getting lazy, and at night I'm like, well, I'm done with this, and I shut the laptop just to go to bed.
No, and it's also so brave for you to use your work computer for porn.
I mean, my work computer gets used for porn at work.
That's true. No. I'm not saying like Gas Digital is going to fire you for being inappropriate. I'm saying it's brave that you use even a laptop to watch porn. I'm straight cell phone.
Let's talk about this after. I think it's crazy to watch porn on a cell phone.
Why?
I don't want the penis I'm looking at to be this big.
Who cares?
$10 per fart.
Can we see the descriptions? What's the original fart in a jar? What do they say under the descriptions?
Hold on, they put a message in the bottle with a fart.
That's right. A jar made of 100% real glass. Farts made of 100% real odor. The recipient will only know it was from you if you leave a custom note or specify that you want your name on the note. The actual smell and strength of the smell varies. We try to make them as pungent as possible, but due to temperature, humidity, and length of delivery, jars will vary in intensity. Your jar includes 1 mini glass jar with snap-on lid. Jars may vary from picture to keep them guessing. 1 customized note with a bow of twine. 1 hearty beef delicious fart smell.
1 customized note on heavyweight parchment paper. I like that touch.
Can we see the reviews?
There's honestly 4.5 out of 5 stars. I'm trying to understand, like they're saying they'll only know it's your fart if you put your name and everything. But what happens? Do they send you the jar and you fart in it yourself?
I think they fart in it.
There's a 1-star comment that just says weak. I sent one to someone and same to myself. I was hoping for something offensive. There was a slight odor. Not sure what it was, but it was not anything I would call fart. After sharing my disappointment with a friend, they volunteered to smell the jar. Apparently, you have to put your nose in the jar to get a smell of a fart.
Yeah, duh.
I was hoping the smell would fill the air around when opened or stick to the fingers when opening the note. I know one thing for sure. I have never had to put my nose in an exit area to smell a fart. They just filled the room.
I understand his disappointment. He thought it would come out. What? He thought it would come out like the way a fart does. Like when you fart, it could stink up a whole room. But I think once it's already out of your body, that goes away.
It's got like it's half
It's less
like cut. It's cut.
Yeah, it's like leaving a weed jar open. You're not going to get the freshest weed.
Yeah.
But it's still
exactly.
weed. You could still smell the weed, but it's not going to be as strong.
Yeah, I guess so. But also, that guy's an idiot. Why would you not realize that the fart's not going to be 100% if it's being transported? I don't know what to say.
Right.
You could only get it fresh, a moment of, if you want it like that.
You want a fresh fart, you got to fart freshly. I don't know what else to say. Like, you can't just be asking, you can't be upset when you get a 7-day-old fart and it doesn't fill a room. Like, what world are we living in?
I'm sorry, okay? Don't tell me $15 is too much for a fart that can be smelled 7 days after the fact.
Right. If anything, you should owe me another $15 because my fart had to live that long.
This shit had to be packaged professionally, and you should respect the
air.
I was looking for a word like skill or something, but honestly, I just realized nothing applied to farting. It's like the skill of trapping your fart. It's not really a skill.
The craft.
The craft
of the fart.
The craft of trapping your fart.
It's funny if they made the movie The Craft, but it's just all about girls that fart in jars for money. They're witches.
Why is that something that witch girls would do? It's like the more into the witch side of TikTok that I'm going, the more I'm like, I don't know if I do align with these people. You know, like there's that entry level witch stuff where you're like, I'm on board with this and I think I could probably do all this. And then like they take like 2 steps deeper into this witch world and suddenly they're like farting into jars and fucking sprinkling pomegranate seeds into the jar and fucking.
They're absolutely insane.
I saw somebody make a love potion on TikTok with their lover's cum.
No. Okay, but I feel like I get into it. When I see them on TikTok, it kind of convinces you. You're right. Like, it makes you be like, well, should I try it?
I mean, kind of, but like only to a certain degree. It's like, as much as I could like the guy that I'm seeing, I'm not going to like try to harvest some of his cum so I could mix it with fucking red dye and glitter and have it on my nightstand, you know?
This is pretty funny. I was hooking up with a guy and after we had sex, he went to go throw the condom away. And I was like, oh, you could just tie that up and leave it on my table. Which I think is so funny to say.
What?
Like,
just throw it in the bucket with the rest of them.
Like, can you put that in the freezer?
No, that's so funny.
There was one time I got in and this was when I was like 22. When I first moved to LA, me and my friends got in an Uber and we convinced the Uber driver that we were 16 and we were on our way to go meet NBA players. And we told the Uber driver that we lied about their age and we were on our way to go get pregnant on purpose. And he was like, the whole ride, he was trying to give us like this moral lesson on how we shouldn't. It was really funny.
Why. I'm picturing the Uber driver being like a 50, 60-year-old white dude with daughters around your age.
Literally, that's exactly what it was. It was a 50 or 60-year-old white dude. And we're like, yeah, we're going to go get pregnant by these basketball players. We're like, have you ever heard of the Lakers? I think they play around here. Like, we're going to go hang out with them. Yeah, we were like doing this whole thing and it was a lot. It was truly the real craft.
I feel like you genuinely took 3 years off of this poor man's life with that conversation.
He was not happy about it. We were fucking cracking up.
I would genuinely feel bad doing that to a stranger, just like making a strange old man think I'm such a whore that he needs to now worry about his family somehow.
Hilarious.
Like, are my daughters out there getting pregnant?
I made him regret having daughters.
Damn, that's fucked up. I used to do like phone call, prank call stuff, but I could never carry a bit out in person.
Yeah.
One time at Legion of Skanks, we had Tim Dillon on the show, and we were administering everybody a diabetes test on the show. But Lewis also had me buy an AIDS test.
I was
for Tim
there
Dillon.
For this day.
You were there? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And then, yes.
Lewis asked me to switch the diabetes test with the AIDS test without Tim knowing. So that he was like unknowingly taking an AIDS test. And the way that I just couldn't lie about it, like Lewis learned that day to never get me to lie to anybody because it's not going to happen.
What happened?
I was like attempting to lie and the words wouldn't come out of my mouth. So I'm like hesitating too much. And I'm like, he's asking me, he's like, this isn't the diabetes test. Isn't the diabetes test just like a prick of the finger? And I was like, no, they changed it. Like, I just had I had no backstory. I had no nothing.
Tim Dillon's like, look at me. I know what a diabetes test is. You idiot. If there's anybody that knows what it looks like to get tested for diabetes, it's Tim Dillon.
AIDS.
No.
Well, I mean, I would assume. I don't know. Is it a thing?
I remember that episode. He refused to take the test, right?
Yeah, he didn't want to take it. So that's why Lewis was like, get him to take it. I don't even know, there should be a weird legality to that because it's like, it's not quite as bad as like dosing somebody, but like dosing somebody with the reality that they've got AIDS sounds worse than dosing somebody with acid, to be honest.
Right.
But yeah, Tim was like, he was like, that's not a diabetes test. And I was like, it is. And he was like, why are you lying to me? And I just got nervous. And I was like, you're right. It's not. I don't know why I'm lying to you.
Could you imagine, though, if you guys did give him that test and he had AIDS? That would have been horrible.
I mean, it would have been horrible, but wouldn't it have been better for him to find out?
On a live podcast?
Not on a live
Forever?
podcast.
On Legion of Skanks?
Would you rather find out you had AIDS on Legion of Skanks or not find out you have AIDS for another 10 years?
Oh, man. That is one of the hardest questions I've ever been asked in my entire life. Well, no, I guess once it's AIDS, it's AIDS. So the 10 years.
But you're down the line. You could have had a cocktail or two in 10 years, Kim.
Dude, no, I can't have everyone find out I have AIDS on a podcast called Legion of Skanks. I don't know. I refuse. That's insane.
But it's almost easier. It's like otherwise you have to go through the process of coming out to everybody that now you've got AIDS.
Yeah.
You've got to tell everybody who needs to know that you've got AIDS about it. And that sucks. Why not just get it all done in one bang?
Francis, why do you say it's different for a guy? He says it's different. It may be different for a dude. Oh, because guys aren't skanks. Well, they are.
They're very skanky. Very much skanks.
They're actually more skanky than we are.
Guys are literally the skankier of the genders, if you ask me.
Absolutely. They're stankier and skankier.
True. That's very true.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to find out on a podcast. I wouldn't even want to get an STD test on a podcast, a regular STD test.
I mean,
actually, it would be kind of funny to find out you had chlamydia on a podcast. That I could live with.
Funny. It's really funny to find out you have chlamydia. It's also hilarious if somehow multiple co-hosts have the same STD.
Oh, so good. Now you're writing a good show, sister. You need to be in a writer's room with that kind of mind. I don't know.
So funny if you and I are in different cities and both happen to have chlamydia.
Oh, so funny. It'd be like, they're definitely Eskimo sisters.
It's almost better than your period sinking somehow.
Absolutely. If me and you got the same STI, STD at the same time,
Or chlamydia.
hey. Yeah, Legion of Herpes. That's funny. No, herpes would be a bad one to find out on a podcast too.
Herpes is bad. I think any of the ones that aren't treatable are obviously like really bad to find out about on a podcast because it's going to follow you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'd be thrilled to find out I have like gonorrhea on it. But do girls get gonorrhea? Is that just a guy thing?
I don't know.
I feel like I've only heard of it in terms of like it making your dick leak.
Ew. Yeah, and doesn't it make it like that's like changes your dick color, right? Like you leak like green.
I thought you meant your dick color as in the color of the penis itself.
No, like what's leaking.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like gnarly leak.
Can we see what it looks like when someone has gonorrhea? Can we pull it up? I'd like to see it.
I got nauseous when you said it, but I also want to see it.
I'm very, 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 very fucking curious to go. Francis said, oof. I want to see it. I want to know what goes on in there. And I want to find out if girls have gonorrhea too.
I feel like girls probably do get gonorrhea. It's probably similar to dudes' gonorrhea, except like girls leak often. So it's only just the addition of it being gross.
Bobby, are you having trouble finding a gonorrhea pic?
Bobby, open your desktop and show us the gonorrhea.
Show us the What?
This is gonorrhea of the foot?
That's it. I'll take it right now.
It pops. It's skin. Ooh.
Wait, what?
No.
Wait, what?
How advanced is this gonorrhea? Like, I hope you can't.
I thought gonorrhea was just a leaky old dick.
I thought it was just a leaky dick.
Me too. Gonorrhea in men. Penis. Can you put in penis?
The way you just spelled gonorrhea like it was nothing, Bobby.
I would have never been able to spell it. I could tell Bobby's had gonorrhea from the way he spelled it so fast. Only someone, look at the penis one.
He's got lots of documents in his house from
below that one, Bobby.
No. That's disgusting. No.
No way.
No.
It looks like an old cherry.
That was so much worse than I thought it was going to be.
That's really bad.
That is so much worse than I thought it was going to be, Kim.
That was really bad.
I'm sorry, but your dick should never get to that point of gonorrhea. I'm sorry. Like when you're even a quarter of the way to having that much gonorrhea, you should have it taken care of.
What do you think's the worst one? Can we look up what do you think's worse than that one?
I can't imagine anything's worse than that.
Is there what's
real? What was that? What was that photo that circulated in the early 2000s? Is it
my God, I thought you just asked me who just walked behind me. You literally scared the fuck out of me because you cut out when you said who? And it sounded like you said, who just walked behind you? And I was like, I literally fucking froze in fear. Like my body went.
You honestly deserve that because you did that to me last week. But I was just asking if blue waffle is real.
Oh, I haven't seen that in a minute. What is that though?
I don't know. And it just looked so disgusting that I assumed that it's just like a fake internet thing that somebody made up. Like,
can we do some research on blue waffle? Let's Google and figure out the history of blue waffle.
Like, can you like catch it or are you born with like, something wrong with you?
You can catch it, but you're going to need a net. I've seen that thing. It don't look great. They're fake too. A lot of symptoms that are supposed to be associated with blue waffle, red or irritated vagina, usually are smelly, discharging, could be a sign called vaginitis. Vaginitis is really No.
Vaginitis that's just like a pretty much regular bacterial infection. I don't think that blue waffle is the same as that.
Can you look up, Bobby? Keep that Google tab open. Google worst vaginitis ever, and then go to images.
Oh, because if it's the blue waffle image, then we'll just know that a woman didn't get it taken care of, and
totally. Yeah, I'm trying to reverse search this.
Yeah, sometimes you have to start at the end and go back.
Francis says, according to urban legend, blue waffle makes parts of your vulva turn blue. Blue waffle isn't real, and neither are blue genitals, but darker colored labia, the lip-shaped parts on either side of the opening of the vagina, is normal.
Who made this up? Who made up the rumor that vaginas could get so sick that they turn blue?
I don't know, but it's kind of cute.
I think so.
When you say it like that and you don't look at the picture, it's kind of cute. It's like they get so sad, they're blue.
They get so sick that they have to turn blue.
They turn blue. So what is it vaginosis?
Is vaginosis the same as vaginitis?
I think so.
Who named those? Like, how fucking vanilla?
Actually, I think it's the same.
Whoever discovered that disease hated it so much that they were like, I'm not even going to name it after myself. I'm just going to call it vaginosis.
Right. I feel like a man named this disease because they're like, it's something wrong with the vagina. So it's just vaginosis.
Oh, there's already something called vaginosis? Name it vaginitis instead.
Oh, gross. Vaginosis is an infection of the vagina. Vaginitis is an inflammation of the vagina that may be due to vaginosis. Okay, yeah, this is true. I remember when I took this, itis means inflammation and like SIS means infection.
That makes sense. Okay, so they come hand in hand. They hold each other.
Arthritis is when your joints are inflamed because it's itis.
That's why, like, when you eat too much, you say, I have the itis because you're all, like, bloated.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
How did I never know that?
Oh, you didn't go to nursing school? you probably didn't go to medical school. I started out as trying to be a nurse. Yeah. Isn't that funny?
You would make a really good nurse. You'd be that like tough nurse who's like sweet at all the right moments, but then also like gets down to business.
I would be like a TV nurse. I would be a nurse that you see on TV.
Yeah.
Like the head nurse that you see that's like kind of quirky, but also kind of mean.
Yeah, you would make it to head nurse. I feel like I see a lot of nurses who it's like, it's wonderful that you're so nice and you're a nurse, but you might actually be too nice to be a nurse.
There's a nurse out there right now screaming, being like, you know nothing about our industry, listening to this.
I watched have you watched Nurse Ratched or Ratched on Netflix?
No, but I've seen it on there. Is it good?
I have to say, it's one of the best shows I've seen in forever. And I'm like not even a huge fan of American Horror Story. I didn't watch all the seasons, but it's the same people. And I think it's got to be the best thing they've ever done.
Is it scary?
It's like psychologically thrilling, but not like jumpy scary at all.
Okay. That's fun.
But it's just really well written. The characters are super realistic, I think, for how wild they are. Okay. It's really good. Really good.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Well, I'll check it out. This has been like a month for movies because everybody's been giving me so many movies and TV shows to watch. I'm like, I feel like it comes in waves where nobody says anything, but then now like shit's coming out that everybody's been working on in the last 8 months. So everyone's
I think they do release all of the good shit at the same time.
Yeah. Because it's like all of this. So people keep telling me to watch The Boys. I've heard is really good.
Everyone's telling me to watch The Boys. I know it's like an anti-superhero thing or like a spin on a superhero thing.
I know. I hate superhero shit too.
I'm sick of it. It's like, what am I, 5? You know?
That's what everyone says. The Boys is great and I'm not into superheroes. That's literally what everyone says. So I'm going to have to check it out. Have you seen Kimmy Schmidt?
Yeah, I've seen the whole thing. It's great.
It's so good.
I was hooked on that show from the very first episode where they do the extended version of the theme song. The theme song hooked my shit in. I was like, I need to see what this show's got.
It's a miracle. Because like, females are strong as hell.
It's like if you watch the pilot episode of that show, the theme song, you're halfway through the theme song before you realize that they're playing, that this is the theme song. And it really like took me by surprise and I liked it.
And the writing is so funny. It's just like the jokes are so funny. Like one of the caricatures would be like, Kimmy, I decided I'm going to start being nicer to you. I like the way your red hair matches your gums. Like, the writing is just so good. I fucking love it. But yeah, this shit's been a lot of TV watching lately happening.
I'm surprised to hear that from you. You're really not a TV person besides like trashy reality shows.
Well, the problem is I don't do a lot of watching. It's been a lot of TV in the background. And honestly, I've just been doing Kimmy Schmidt, the full seasons over and over again in my background because I pick up a different joke that I missed previously that way. And that's been satisfying me enough.
I do that with Rick and Morty. I even have times where like I moved the television out of my room to try to be able to focus more and get better sleep. And sometimes if I'm like cleaning my room and kind of wish I was watching TV, I'll literally just put Rick and Morty on like on my computer where I can't even see it and just listen to the audio, like follow the episode through by ear. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I do that. And I'm like, you know what? Being blind's not bad. It's
not so bad.
They've got it fine. I said the rudest thing yesterday. Oh God, I can't remember what happened. They were talking, I was playing poker and, you have big blinds and small blinds and I was big blind and someone was like, Kim, you're big. And I was like, ugh, that always hurts my feelings. He was like, you're blind. And I was like, that's better. And they're like, that's rude that you'd rather be blind than big.
I mean, to each his own,
Yeah, to eat my own. I'm not going to be big.
Yeah. I was reading into the Helen Keller thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it is kind of interesting. Like, I was basically on a Reddit thread that I didn't send to Bobby or Frank, but I'll just explain it. That was talking about how, like in all of history, Helen Keller is like the only blind deaf person who's been able to like read and learn, and that's like all the way up till today. So you would think that like
still she's the only one.
Yes,
and that's not true.
Who was able to like read and like communicate thoughts in the way that she did, and like the idea that she was like super political and gave like political speeches and stuff. People are saying that it's just not within the realm of possibility for somebody who's blind and deaf, and that most likely
like she was doing too much.
Yeah, she was doing too much, and people say that it's like the conspiracy is not that she was faking it, which is what I originally thought it was, which I thought was hilarious and rude to be like she was faking it. Don't even listen to her. The conspiracy is more that her teacher like recognized that her family was willing enough to like spend money and like do anything to get her to like appear as normal. And so the teacher like took advantage of it and would make her appear normal. And like, it was really the teacher giving the speech.
She's standing behind her, holding her arms. Like, look, she's dancing on her own. She can hear the music.
Well, it's like she would like sign into the teacher's hand and then the teacher would translate the speech to people. So the conspiracy is that like everything that Helen Keller said is really just what Anne Sullivan wanted her to be saying.
So they'd be like, Helen, what is your greatest accomplishment to this date? And then the translator would be like, my greatest accomplishment is learning how to read, write, and communicate effectively with the world so that I can see a change in the future. But really all she wrote in the hand was like, I like triangles.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then you add on like, I'm so grateful for my wonderful, compassionate teacher, Anne Sullivan. Like
Anne Sullivan with the perkiest tits anyone's ever known. Anne Sullivan. Follow me at Anne Sullivan on Twitter at Anne Sullivan and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that smash button at Anne Sullivan.
I know I can't see, but you could just tell that Anne Sullivan has the best smile.
And talk about a perfectly tight vagina. Anne Sullivan is the queen of Kegels.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, possibly, Anne Sullivan just knew how to
lie.
Knew how to really take advantage of somebody with very little ability and make herself look real good.
So Anne Sullivan's an accountant.
Apparently.
I love it.
Frank wrote Weekend at Helen's.
Weekend at Helen's is hilarious. That's exactly what was happening. That's exactly what was happening, Francis. That might be the funniest thing you've ever said on any
It
podcast
makes me so mad because it's like
of
5
ours.
weeks in a row now that Frank said the funniest thing on the show.
Fuck, Frank, you get out of here. Quit being funnier than us in the chat. We have to read your joke out loud. We can't just ignore such a good joke.
I have to fucking say that it was Frank and not take credit myself. It sucks.
Can't even steal it and claim it's mine. Too much integrity. He said, take it. I will. Fuck, dude. That's so funny.
Damn it.
Anne Frank. I mean, not Anne Frank.
Anne Frank, not so funny.
I just confused Anne Frank and Helen Keller, which is two people that is like very strange to confuse them with each other. I don't know why, but
it's really strange to confuse them with each other, but it also makes perfect sense just in the context that like there's not that many young girls who were famous for anything in history, and those are like two. It's really the only two I could think of who managed to get famous for something in their teenage years before 1950.
Were they alive at the same time?
I don't know. I mean,
because that would be wild. That would be wild if Helen Keller and Anne Frank were in the same lifetime. They were just both existing in different places.
Anne Frank was alive in like the 30s or 40s, right? That's when World War II was. I'm the mid 30s. I should know this. It's really bad to not know history. They were. I thought Helen Keller was earlier. I thought she might have been like late.
Were they the same age?
Were they born the same year?
Were they both teenagers? That would be really cute, though.
Would it?
Yeah, I think that's cute. Oh.
You think it's...
Helen was born in 1880, and Anne Frank was born in...
I'm going to guess 1922. Okay.
1929. No, I'd say 1919. I
looked at the chat.
Oh.
29. But I'm glad that I didn't ruin your chance to guess.
1880 and 1929. So Helen Keller was 50 when she was born.
I'm pretty sure Helen Keller made it to 50, right? How old was she when she died? How long did she last? That's such a rude way to put it.
That is so mean.
What was her shelf life?
She lasted till she was 88. So yeah.
What? 88 years old? 88 years. Never hearing or seeing a thing. Like, that sounds boring as
life
fuck.
Probably goes so long for you when you're
I don't care how famous you are, how many political speeches you get to fake give.
She kept trying to do one of those self-euthanasia things, and the girl doing her translation was like, she's fine. If only you would give her translator the rest of her whale money. She kept her alive for 88 years. Wow.
Anne Frank died in 1945. Yeah, I mean, that's sad no matter how you spin it. I guess it's kind of nice that they were alive at the same time.
That's crazy.
No, I don't find it as cute as you find it, but I get it.
Yeah, it's less cute when they're like 50 years the age difference, but if they were both teenagers, it would have been kind of cute. When
I read The Diary of Anne Frank, that shit fucked me up. Like, I remember reading it in school and not being able to stop thinking about it ever, really.
Oh, I became completely obsessed with it. I only watched documentaries about it. I would like YouTube stuff. Like, I was obsessed with it.
I was obsessed with her, honestly. I was like her whole attitude was just so sweet and cute and like non-deserving of what happened.
I also romanticized like her little romance she had in the attic with her neighbor that she had a crush on. That was also in the attic with them. I was like, this is so fun. Like, they're both in an attic hiding, and that's like the end of the world. And they're still like figuring out how to have a crush on each other. It's like so cute.
That's so funny that like they give you the Diary of Anne Frank to read when you're a fucking horny teenager and you can only focus on the love story. Like,
it's true. I was like, you mean she gets to stay in an attic every night with her crush? It's my dream, is to be stuck in an attic with my crush for 5 months.
That there is something there is something kind of romantic about like the end of the world being stuck with your crush. And it's like, let's see if we could wait this out. Maybe we'll get lucky and maybe we'll just die. So we should probably fuck regardless.
Exactly. Even though I'm 13.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah. I had the horniest thoughts of my whole life when I was 13.
It's true. It's truly the horniest I've ever was.
Yeah.
Damn.
Crazy. Frank and I went to a Halloween event together on Saturday.
How was that?
That was so much fun.
Really?
We weren't ready. We were not ready. We thought like, okay, Irish Joey's girlfriend got us tickets to this thing. And I was excited to go and everything. I think everybody was on the same page. We were like, oh, this will be fun. It'll be like a Halloween event, whatever. It was called like the Great Pumpkin Blaze or something like that. Mm-hmm. And we're like, oh yeah, it'll be some jack-o'-lanterns. It'll be cool. Frank, can you pull up like some pictures of it? Kim, when I tell you, there must have been 10 to 20,000 carved jack-o'-lanterns at this place, all lit up. Like, to the point where I was annoying everybody else there. I wasn't even on the drugs that I wanted to be on for this because I had to drive. You know, I would never drive on drugs.
Right.
Ever.
Whoa.
I was so amazed that I was annoying the people around us by being like, why does nobody else find this special? There's literally tens of thousands of carved pumpkins in front of us, and I need to know how they didn't rot. Like how you
these are insane.
How did you carve 10,000 pumpkins without them rotting, without animals coming to eat them? Look at this unicorn. They had a carousel. They had a carousel of pumpkins.
Whoa.
They had the Mona fucking Lisa of pumpkins. This was a spinning carousel of dead horse pumpkins. This is
crazy.
It was so crazy. Get rid of that.
What was that, Alex? What was that?
That was me from last night, but now I don't want to share it because I shared a different part of the night that now I don't think they align.
Oh my God. You know what? When you were pulling up your pumpkin patch, I was like, is this going to be interesting? And I was so surprised at how cool this is.
I swear you literally would have loved it.
That's awesome.
I actually literally took a video there where I'm like looking at the pumpkins and I was like all sour. I was like, Kimberly Congdon would have loved this event if she weren't out in LA. And then I shut the camera off and I was like, it's kind of rude to take that video when Ani invited you to this to become new friends with her.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And I just put the phone away. I was like, I hope she didn't hear me say that. I'm really having fun with her as well.
Oh, she's so sweet.
She's so sweet. It was fucked up. I was like, think before you record a video about your best friend.
That's so funny.
But yeah, this place was so crazy that it gave me the roller coaster effect. Like, you know, when I leave Six Flags and I can't stop talking about roller coasters for like a month.
Yeah.
It did that to me. It was so funny when we got in the car. Frank was like, geez, Alex, where's your sense of wonder?
No, because you were so excited.
I couldn't stop the whole way through. I was like, how are there so many pumpkins? I can't believe it.
They truly, whatever they were trying to get across, you got it. You understood.
I mean, to the point where I was looking at everybody else, I was like, these Long Island people don't know how to appreciate anything in life.
You're like none of you deserve this.
They were walking around being like, look, a sunflower field. I was like, dude, those are
pumpkins.
They're 7-foot sunflowers, and there's about 100 of them in a field.
That's hilarious.
There's hundreds of thousands of pumpkins here. How is anybody taking this normally? It was crazy.
That's hilarious.
Getting aggressive. It was crazy.
I can't wait till Halloween's over, to be honest. I'm over it.
I don't usually do, I guess I do like one Halloween event every year, whether it's like a haunted house or something like that. But this was like a chill, like awesome thing. I wish kids weren't there. It just feels like a thing for drug people. It feels like you should be able to smoke weed down the path and everything. But
yes, that's what Halloween and trick-or-treating was med for, the drug people.
So funny. I realized it's like we weren't bad there that night, but like in thinking of how I wished there were more people with us, like from our group, it came to the realization that truly you can't take the Gas Digital staff anywhere where there's families. Like we fucked up Six Flags. We fucking ran a train on Six Flags.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. It's bad.
No, yeah. It's, Gas Digital is more like, it's less pumpkin patch and more like Rob Zombie concert vibes.
Yeah, sort of. Like I was like cursing I was like, can you believe how fucking awesome this is? And I just looked beside me and there was a child. I'm like, I forget that you can't curse in public and things.
Right. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I hate the point in your life where you're like forget about kid friendly stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just can't be around children right now. I'm not fit.
See, I'm the opposite. I love being around kids.
I love being around kids too. And if it's like I'm babysitting or something, it's fine because I'm like prepared to be in the kid frame of mind. But otherwise, it's like I want to go smoke a joint and not have to come back in.
Yeah, totally. You don't want to have to like worry about like little ears or whatever.
Exactly. That's the stuff that I can't handle. I love kids and their personalities and everything, but it's like I have too much going on. I'll be a bad influence.
Totally. All right. Well, I think that we have to wrap this up because I have to go rent a car in like 30 minutes.
Okay. You gonna
my sister's coming in town tomorrow for a week, so I want us to have a nice little car to roll around in. So I'm gonna get us a cute little car.
That's adorable.
I know.
Yay. Hey, have fun.
Thank you. And thank you guys for listening to another motherfucking episode. You made it through another week. Thank you again for listening to Broad Topics. You can follow me on Twitter at Kimberly Congdon, on TikTok and Instagram at Kim Congdon. And where can they find you, baby girl?
You guys could find me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Alex Scar. And make sure that you head to gasdigitalnetwork.com for a 14-day free trial with promo code Topix, Topix. It's going to get you access to every single episode of this show on demand in HD whenever you want it, as well as every other show on the network, bonus content, live chats, and more. Make sure you go do it. It's super worthwhile, and it supports everybody's work at Gas Digital.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye. Bye.